stick it in, twist the knife to bone again, like the coldest winter winds. Well, I can't keep them out. And in the sand, well, I'll draw the map as planned, with the 2-day blacktop tan. Well, I'll just walk the line. I'm gonna go down to the river and put my feet inside, and I'm no good for nothing most of the time. I'm gonna stand up on the mountain with my hands up to the sky, a little rough around the edges, but Lord, I try, and I'm gone.
This is Now You're Seeing It, a podcast about hunting, fishing, and general woodsmanship told through stories, experiences, and a little bit of humor. I'm your host, Jake McPherson. Let's gear up, get in the woods. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Jake McPherson. It is the new year 2025. I'm still alive. It's exciting. It's freezing freaking cold. Excited to have the new year coming, come and go. It's here now. Shows you kind of where I've been. I've been all over the place. It's been a hot minute, roughly about a month since we've been here. I'd like to say, man, so much has happened, and a lot has happened. I guess not necessarily directly in the woods, but a lot of hunting things have definitely been occurring. So that's a lot of fun. I guess since I missed it, late Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that stuff. I guess I didn't really do a year in review type thing, so I'm not really going to do that now necessarily, but I do want to throw out some appreciation definitely from the podcast. And it's just some, we usually throw out things and stuff like that at the end of the show, but might as well just start this one with saying some things that aren't always said, and some that are always said. So first and foremost, this is going to sound really corny, but I do have to thank my wife. She is the most supportive person over my insanity with getting into the woods and wanting to talk about the woods. And she bears with me, and I appreciate her so much. So thank you, Tracy. Without her, none of this is possible. Also, I got to give a huge thanks to Bryant Carter and the Bryant Carter Band. Few years ago when I wanted to do this podcast, you want to have an intro song and all that kind of stuff. And it started out pretty rough if you've heard the first few episodes, but through Geronimo, through Jaron, the buddy of the show, my buddy, he knew these guys, went to school with these guys, and just through having cool relationships and these guys just being outstanding people, they were like, sure, man, go ahead and, use it for your show. And I use every chance I can to let you guys know about stuff they got going on. And so again, I just appreciate that so very much. It means more than they can even imagine to me, for sure. So I know it means probably a ton more to me than it does to them, but I do want to let them know that I just thank you guys so much. And I'll continue to make sure that you're a part of this show, and that your music's a part of this show, as long as you'll let it be. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. Also, this is going to sound like a shameless plug. It's not. I got to thank Vortex Optics, and they don't pay me. They don't give me nothing. They haven't ever given me anything, but I do have to throw it out there and just show that company. It's just, I am still so just can't believe it. You get a scope, and it was virtually free, and I didn't buy it through them, and it was messed up and this and that, and shot him an email, and here you go, no problem, no questions, fix it. And and that it literally saved my bear season, or my bear hunt. Granted, I didn't get a bear, so I didn't shoot anything with my freaking rifle all year except paper. Other than that, they came through, and so I just that meant a lot at the time because coming up to the bear hunt, there was a lot of stuff going on personally with that. And so for just, as you're just putting the last things together and then you're like, oh my God, this is wrong. And then I think I had the stuff in less than 7 days. I had everything I needed to get things squared away. So that's just a dope company to do business with. So if you're looking for any sort of optics, I highly recommend Vortex. They stick by their stuff. So if you're going to pay some price that I'm still not comfortable paying for certain optics, they have the quality and they also stand by their shit and will back up their stuff. So it's really it's pretty cool. Yeah. So last year was pretty intense. It was weird. It was really weird. There was a lot of like with the turkey season early in the spring, there was a lot of cool opportunities, but nothing came of it. And then it led me pretty ready for bear and deer. And then the bear thing just, I mean, that I don't want to say that was a bust by any stretch because there was some solid memories made, lessons learned. Me and my big bro, we were gonna move on from said location and see if we can find some greener pastures elsewhere in the state of Colorado. And then it was just it was a funky year. And it was the bear, the deer, everything was weird. The mass crop, that our Missouri numbers were crazy low for deer. Nobody was really seeing much. Um I did see the numbers come out and the archery numbers were pretty much on par for every year, but it was really the gun season, that the multiple gun seasons that they've added to several times now to have more opportunities just didn't come through that they had in years past. So some of that was weather, some of it was mass crop. We had crazy amount of acorn, so that's obviously going to keep them out of the fields. The weather was way warmer than it typically is, and they had shifted our season, at least the primary season, primary firearms up a week, or I'm not sorry, up back a week, and it took it kind of out of peak rut, which as an archer primarily, that was cool. But when you're sitting in a stand with your kiddo for literally 10 freaking hours on metal and see nothing, it sucks. So, your promise, I see promises of, hey man, they're gonna be flying all through here. You're just gonna have to pick and choose, and to see nothing and nothing was a bummer. And that was kind of how the whole season played out. I kind of got stuck into the gun game. I'll admit it. I once I got back from the bear deal, I mean, there was, you had that archery. I came back right at the beginning of deer archery, but it was still freaking 90 degrees in Missouri. So no bueno. Waited till, in October, got a couple cool days, got some decent hunting in, I guess, October, November. But then, the rut came and went, and that was actually really disappointing, I think, all the way around. And then, yeah, and then I don't want to say a deer can change it all. I don't want to say one shot can change it all, but I will say that it helped. It helped. It pacified. That's a good word. It was more of a pacifier, I guess, for this year because, as any ignorant hunter such as myself knows, you put, it's going to be badass this year. It's going to be this, it's going to be that, you have all these plans. I mean, you've already, before the year even starts, hell, I've already mounted three, I got 3 mounts this year already and I haven't shot nothing. So if you know what I mean, it's kind of, what is that, punching your tag before it's bought, so to speak. But last year threw some curveballs and changed some things. So again, it helped that I got that last year. It was so cool to get my first archery deer, my first recurve. That was a really neat experience, but it taught me more about myself as a person than it was any sort of lessons learned. You know what I'm saying? Because I was beating myself because, I mean, really what I kind of learned, and I'll just sum it up here as far as last year is concerned, is that hunting is easy. There's do this, do that, hunt the wind, morning, evening, food source, bedding. There's just matter of fact stuff. You know what I mean? There's just it's really quite simple. But when you throw in the human element and in our brain, it really we make it really difficult. And because it is really difficult, but it's not. And if you just can simplify stuff and look in front of you rather than around you, you'll be better off. It's patience, it breaks down to patience again. But anyway, yeah, super duper easy hunting, that's what's going to be all this year. I know that. Boy, I'm pretty sure I just guaranteed myself I'm not going to get anything, but I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Already starting to plan stuff for this season. Like I said, I've talked to my brother that lives out there in Colorado. We're already starting to put together a plan for this coming fall bear hunt. And, that sounds funny, maybe to some, to anybody that hasn't done a hunt like that. And being in Missouri, I'm really talking to you guys, especially that are more deer hunters and thinking, okay, I can just put in for a bear draw and, since it's here and just shoot down to the Ozarks. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And definitely when you're going somewhere else to another state to go do this kind of thing, it requires a lot of planning, a lot of forethought, a lot of resources, really, when it comes down to it, whether monetary or in whatever form those resources take. Some, like my brother is a massive resource for me. The cost of what I would spend to have to go and do what we get to do for what we get to do it for would be unaffordable if my brother didn't live in Colorado or virtual. It wouldn't be, it would be bad. It'd be bad. Instead of it being like, go ahead, by the wife, it would be, hey, is it cool if we miss a house payment or two so I can go? That's why I'm not going for elk anytime soon as far as out of state stuff. That's why I'm sticking to the bears, because that seems to be the most budget friendly and honestly what I enjoy the most. It's what I enjoy the most. I'm not looking to harvest. And I think that's something about that deer it wasn't unsat, but it's something that made me realize something about myself is it was more of a vindication that it's not the kill. It's not the kill. And anybody that's a true hunter knows and respects. And that's something that my wife, actually, some of the things we've talked about was that, Hunter, I'll just go out and kill. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure most hunters, real hunters, understand that they're taking a life and they respect that. And that's not a thrill. That's not a thrill. The thrill is everything up to and after, but that's not thrilling, man. And it's sacred. And I treat it as such. I'm assuming I'm not alone in that. And as such, I don't look forward to that moment. I look forward to the moments before and after. The journey, the entire journey, because that moment is it's truth and it's honest and it's real. And some people can't, or maybe so far detached from their true human self that is mean or it upsets them in a way that would have them starve if we were back to arrows and spears. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't even know where I was going with that. That was really a ramble. It's about the journey and hunting around it. And so back to Colorado. Yeah, we're going to really try to plan this thing out, go after the bears. Before that though, and I'm going to get in the Missouri draw. Hopefully I get that tag. But if not, so be it. But hopefully conservation does some stuff to where the opportunities go to all the tags are opportunities rather than just ways for people to get in the way, if you will, by not following through on obligations. So hopefully some good stuff comes from there and something changes on that. But regardless, still optimistic about the Missouri bear season. We'll see what happens. But first, drum roll. It's coming up quick, right here at the end of February, the Midwest Wildlife Coyote Tournament, sixth annual tournament coming up. I'm really stoked about that. The Missouri Bear Foundation will be there. I will be there representing the Missouri Bear Foundation. And thank you to Cody and Ryan at Midwest Wildlife for being so cool about working together and all that kind of stuff. And I look forward to see what that comes in the future outside this podcast. But going to be there also as a participant. I'm planning on participating at this point. It's still a little up in the air, but I'm pretty sure me and Jaron are going to head out there and try to do something as far as getting a couple coyotes. And that's a fun deal. It brings together a ton of people, great cause. It's just a lot of fun with a lot of people. And yeah, check it out. Midwest Wildlife on Facebook. Go to it. All the information's on there that you need to get caught up on that tournament and the stuff's going on there. So again, super excited to be a part of the tournament as a person, as a participant. Yeah. And as a organization involved. And I think I'm trying to get something together for a little bit of a raffle out there for those fellas on behalf of the Missouri Bear Foundation. And that's another thing that I got to tell you about, because shortly thereafter, not really, but really, if you're me, in May 17th, 2025, Missouri Bear Foundation is hosting the Missouri Hunting Expo. It is in West Plains, Missouri. Come check it out. There's going to be hunting, fishing vendors, conservation groups. We're going to have some seminars, outdoor seminars, trapping classes, some speakers, all kinds of fun stuff, several raffles, all kinds of stuff being given away out there. It's only going to be $5 day of at the door, $3 online. Those tickets, I believe, will be made available fairly soon. So follow along to Missouri Bear Foundation Facebook page, join the Facebook group, the public group. You get a lot extra information in there, kind of a little bit more of what's going on. So follow along with both those pages and keep up with that. And when those tickets become available, and for all the stuff that's going on with that. And if you are out there listening to this podcast and are interested in becoming involved in that, let them know they are still looking for some vendors to fill the spots there at the event. So check it out, check them out, let them know. Super excited to be a part of that and to have that going on. It's going to be a big deal. Big deal. So very excited about that. And then it'll be the weight game. Then it's going to get hot, and then there's nothing to hunt, and it's too hot to hunt, and it's just going to become this whole thing. But we'll still get through it, and then it'll be fall again. But yeah, thank you guys. Again, it's part of the reason this took a month. Hell, I'll be honest, might as well. That's all I really know how to do. I can either not say anything or I can just be honest. You know what I mean? So I'll just be honest. About the last 2.5, 3 weeks, I tried to, okay, speaking of intros, right? So I got the first intro for the podcast. And it was a program that's no longer available that allows you to, dub in your voice and raise and lower the music and stuff like that. And that's a little bit of what you guys got. That's what you get at the beginning of this show. And so I'm like, man, I want to freshen it up. I want to change the intro a little bit, speak to my people, make it a little more professional, if you will. And God, I spent 2.5 weeks, guys. I'm still learning. I'm not going to say I don't have the ability. I currently don't have the ability to do what I need to do and figure out what I need to figure out to get this thing looping and doing all the stuff it needs to do. I'm not a producer. I'm doing this. I'm just a sheet metal worker that absolutely loves to hunt, and I like to talk about hunting. And so I do it, and I do my best with the production and productivity and all the extra stuff with the podcast. And tell you what, man, it is not easy. It's not easy. So I do apologize, like I said, for the gaps, you know what I'm saying, in between this thing. And I wish I could just come at you guys week and week, every week. But the truth of the matter is, it is so beyond difficult to to get this thing out here, polish it up, get it edited, do all the things I need to do. And I what you guys get is, 20 minutes to sometimes, if you're lucky, an hour or so of podcast. But myself, and it's just me here on the back end, man. I spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, sometimes a couple days, trying to polish and doctor and take out this and do all the stuff you got to do just to make it somewhat palatable out there, so you guys don't turn me off. You know what I'm saying? And that takes time. That's not an excuse. I'm still trying to get better, but I'm also trying to provide for my family. And I work 10 hours a day. I'll be back to doing that 6 days a week here pretty soon. And between all that time, the time of doing what I have to do, what I have to do, and doing, what I got to do to keep my head on straight, it doesn't leave, in the time for the family. You run out of time. You run out of time pretty quick. And so obviously the first thing that's going to get kind of pushed back is this still here, because I love talking about it, but I got to get out in it. And so I got to go to work. I got to love my family, and then I got to go out in the woods. And so when I have time after that, I try to get in here and do this deal as best and as much as I can. And yeah, I don't. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? One of these days, maybe I'll get a producer or something will be cool about that, and then I can just sit here and talk into a mic and walk away, and I can do that all the time. That's easy peasy. Unless somebody else figure it out, do all the other crap. But while it's just me, it's gonna be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So just keep a lookout, follow along. It's my next couple months are going to be pretty busy with the Bear Foundation, and I'm going to try to keep you guys updated with that stuff on here. That Coyote tournament will keep you updated about that on here. I do plan on having some guests coming up here pretty quick. It's just, again, between my crazy life, other people's crazy lives, and honestly, a lot of the people that will come onto this show and that I'm going to have on the show here in the future, we're all doing this other thing. It's none of us are getting anything financial out of it. And sometimes it's a 50-50 between a labor and a love. So, but we all stick it out. So again, like the fellows at Midwest Wildlife, Ryan, I'm excited to talk to him in the future. Again, he's a busy man. I'm a busy man. They got the tournament, they got real life, and again, we do all these other extracurriculars. Most people, outside of our normal life and what we have to do. So again, we will have some people on. I'll be talking to my brother again soon. Maybe eventually we can get Jaron. It's been 2.5 years. He was a dude that helped me, talk me, this was going to be our deal, and he still has only been on here once, and he didn't even know he was on it till after he heard the episode that he was on, when I recorded him and us by a frog pond. So maybe he'll come on here and tell you guys something. But other than that, again, I appreciate you guys following along. I'm keep trying to do this the best I can for those that do enjoy it and do want to follow along and listen along. The struggle's real. And we do everything we can every day to make it a little easier. And yep. Every day is a new chance to start all over. Yeah, I think that's about it. Again, follow, like, share, all that stuff. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, be sure to check out Missouri Bear Foundation, a Facebook page, all that. Go to the event, check it out. Go to the event and check it out. And yeah, I appreciate everybody out there for listening, hanging in there. Bryant Carter Band, you're the best. Tracy, you're the best. All you guys listening out there, you're the best. It's cool to walk around my normal life, and even though some of these people are people I've known for a while and some of them aren't, to hear that people do listen to this, and it's a neat feeling. It's neat. But hopefully we can do a bit more of it for you. So all you guys out there that listen, stop by for even a minute. I appreciate you so much. And Just as soon as it's above zero, I'll see you in the woods.
Stick it in, twist the knife to bone again, like the coldest winter winds. Well, I can't keep them out. And in the sand, well, I'll draw the map as planned, with the 2-day blacktop tan. Well, I'll just walk the line. I'm gonna go down to the river and put my feet inside, and I'm no good for nothing most of the time. I'm gonna stand up on the mountain with my hands up to the sky, a little rough around the edges, but Lord, I try, and I'm gone. Steady eyes, I've wandered and grown tired, with my lips and neck on fire, my inspirations have run dry. I'm gonna go down to the river and put my feet inside, and I'm no good for nothing most of the time. I'm gonna stand up on the mountain with my hands up to the sky, a little rough around the edges, but Lord, I try, and I'm gone. I'm gonna go down to the river and put my feet inside, and I'm no